Hey guys, Jack here from Gingerbets and welcome to this week's Golf Betting Insights weekly YouTube video. Another disappointing week for followers. Scotty Scheffler, he could have got the job done, should have got the job done on Sunday night. He was one clear with a birdie putt on 9. He missed that and then the wheels came off. Really disappointing from Scotty. That's 2 place payouts from him over the last few weeks, but I expected him to get a win. He's as short as 12-1 this week, and he will be an easy lay for me. I don't think the course suits him as well. I think it's a bit of a putting contest, and I think that there'll be some battle scars from last week and the week before. So Scotty, for those of you that are listening and want to do a bit of a lay, he is one that I would avoid at the top of the market for sure this week. I think he's way too short and I don't think he can win. But in this short video this week, I'm going to do a preview of the course, the key skill sets required. Those of you that are regular here will know that this is the format that we follow week in, week out. There's going to be less call to actions this week to subscribe, to follow. I just want to give you some high quality content and get into the picks because that's what you all tune in for, really. So let's have a look at the course itself, a bit about the event. Course itself played over 2 courses, 36 holders shared on Thursday and Friday across the Plantation and the Sea Island host course, and then the host course holds the last 36 holes. So 2-course event, there's plenty of these on the PGA Tour, but do bear that in mind if you're looking at first round leader bets and that type of thing. It is something that you need to pay particular attention to. Also, one of the courses will play considerably easier than the other, and therefore don't get disillusioned if your player is slightly behind the 8 ball after Thursday's play if he's got the easier course to follow up on. But in general, these are both short courses by PGA Tour standards. It'll be an extremely easy event for these players. I expect a winning score of circa 20 under par or greater. That's going to be something that we've seen quite regularly, not last week, so it's a bit of a change from the players from last week where they faced a proper golf test. This week it's a bit of a putting contest, unfortunately, but there is some strategic elements to this course design. So the key skill sets required this week, in my opinion, I'm going to bring you 6 of them, an extra one this week. I think there's one particular stat that I want to pay attention to, and then I want to dial a bit deeper on that. So let's take it from the tee box as we do week in, week out, and start off. It's driving accuracy. Again, it's not something we consider on tour all the time, but I think this week there are fairly generous fairways. I will add that. But I do want players playing from the fairways. When the scores are 25 and 20 under par, you're not going to be able to compete if you're playing for the rough. So when making your own consideration and selections, I will encourage you to look at players that have a decent driving game, certainly in terms of accuracy. If you look at previous winners here, there have been a lot of short hitters that have been successful. This is not a bomber's paradise. Second up, I want to look at strokes gained tee to green over the recent 24 rounds on tour. As all of you will know that tune in regularly, I don't believe at events where you're going to have to be 20 under par that you can suddenly just turn up and have your tee to green game out of form. So that's an area that I want to pay particular attention to. Now getting to some killer stats. Green in regulations gained. When we look at the last 5 or 6 winners here, they've all ranked in the top 10 for green in regulations. I think maybe one exception to that. But since 2015, there's going to be a real strong tendency for players to perform well who hit loads of greens in regulations. So I want us to consider that. But I also want to dial a little bit deeper and look at proximity to the hole. Because it's a low scoring event, you're going to have to be dialed in with your wedges. So from 100 to 150 yards, but certainly 100 to 125, where is more shots on this course than there will be on the majority of PGA Tour courses. I want players that excel in that range. There's plenty of good wedge players on tour that maybe aren't the best with the long irons. This is their week. So if you've got a player that's short off the tee, that's good with his wedges, this is the week to put him in your portfolio, trust him, and give him a chance. And then finally, I want to look at putting on the Bermuda grass putting surfaces. Why? Because this is a different grain to what players face across the globe. They have the Poa, they have the bent grass, they got the Bermuda and the various different strands of that. this is an area that I want to look at. People who put well on this grain of grass, or those that put better than they do in general across others. So the reason I say that is my headline selection. He's not the best putter, but he does put his best on the Bermuda grass putting surfaces that he faces this week. So that's the course, that's the skill sets required. Let's get in to the outright selections for this week's event. I'm really desperate to get winner number 10 for the season. I thought it was coming the week before. I thought it was coming last week. I was hurting on Sunday night. Not only was I hurting with that on Scotty Scheffler, there was loads of followers who backed the outsiders to consider. We put Luke List up. We put Johnny Vegas up. They had an absolute disaster Vegas on the front nine. But Luke List, he was in the places at 150 to 1. Yeah, he was sitting tied 4. 1 hole to go. He went double bogey. He finished down, and the rest is history. That was hurts, always does. But let's see if we can get outright winner number 10. So, headline selection of the week. He's a player 10th here last year. He's third in terms of proximity to the hole from 100 to 150 yards over the last 36 rounds on tour. His iron game is basically dialed in with his wedges and his 9-iron. He's an absolute baller in terms of ball striking. 5th in greens in regulations gained over the past 36 rounds on tour. 28 to 1, Bet365. Corey Connors, headline selection. If he puts well this week, I think he goes well. Something that I just want to share, Connors, Scotty Scheffler and Connors at the Masters earlier on this year, should I say, yeah. And many of the tournaments, there's no way that it'd be 2.5 times the price. Scotty Scheffler's 12 to 1 this week. Corey Connors 28 to 1. He doesn't go off 28. He goes off 25s, 22s. He will be supported, especially with 8 places. So get on right now. Take advantage. Second selection of the week. This is a guy that when it gets on these putting surfaces, I have to consider. He had a tidy 7th place finish last week. He could have got a W to his name. He didn't quite dial it in on the Sunday, but I'm prepared to give him another chance on a course that he's got some decent form. He absolutely loves the Bermuda grass putting surfaces. Second in proximity from 100 to 125 yards over the last 36 rounds on tour. Absolutely dialed in with those short game. His irons have been incredible for 18 months. This guy fell down the world rankings. He's bounced back. He's got another win in him. One more stat for you. There's a key distance this week. Par 4 scoring, 400 to 450 yards, 9 holes on the main course. They play that course 3 times. That's 27 holes that sit from 400 to 450 yards. Well, this guy sits in the top 10 for par 4 scoring over that distance. He's an elite level iron player. He can put it with the best. Russell Henley, 30 to 1. FanDuel, 30 to 1 in the UK with a couple of firms. Take advantage. Get on. 8 places available. I can't see him out the places. I think he goes close. Next selection. We're going to go for 2 monster prices now. They're in the 100 to 1 selections. Unibet 100 to 1. Brandon Grace. He plays the seaside courses very well. His wedge game is elite. He sits in the top 10 for proximity over the last 36 rounds from 100 to 125 yards. And we've already touched on the importance of that. He is a proven winner. So something that's going to go against Scotty Scheffler with me in the future. I'm going to see what his scars are like from the last 2 weeks. But Grace, when he gets in contention, he has the minerals. He's done it time and time again across the globe. Him at 100 to 1 with Unibet. There's absolutely no way that stands come Thursday. So take advantage of that price. He'll probably be 80 to 1, 8 places across the board. I think that's a fair price, a fair bet. He'll be the 3rd selection of the week. And then 4th up at a monster price, Paddy Power, 125 to 1. He's a player that hasn't played very well at this event, but I just think that there's a key thing that I like about him. He has the ability to go low early in the round. So early in competitions, he's got form in the first round leader markets. I think that he's also got the ability to go low at any one point. He can shoot a 62, a 63. I think the player that wins this will do that this week. He's 8th in proximity to the hole from 125 to 150 yards. He's 12th from 100 yards to 125 yards. Basically, his iron game with the short irons is dialed in. He's not the best putter on tour, but he also sits 8th in par 4 scoring from that key distance of 400 to 450 yards. Remember, 27 holes fall in that range. Brandon Steele, he'll be a shock to many, but I think that he's got a good chance this week. I'm prepared to take a risk. 125 to 1. I don't believe that lasts. I think it goes 100 to 1 across the board come Thursday. So to recap, we've got Henley, we've got Connors, we've got Gracie, and we've got Brandon Steele. Let's hope that we can get outright winner number 10. Before I go, guys, may I remind you, if you're enjoying this content, getting a little bit of value out of it, then please do me a favor, press the subscribe button below. Also, in the description box, for those of you that are new and found your way to the Gingerbets Golf Betting Insights YouTube channel, then may I remind you, there's a newsletter that covers so much more information than I can provide in this short video. Take a look in the description box. All the details are there. Gingerbets.substack.com, all free of charge, no spam, one email, direct to your inbox, week in, week out, for the PGA Tour event that's taking place, and it will help you get some winners. There's a track record there to back that up, so don't just take my word for it. Have a look at the site and you'll be able to see all 9 outright winners, all 14 places. I said 12 the other week, 14 places in 2021 so far. 300% return on investment. None of this is lies. It's all truth. It's all recorded, all documented. Take a look and join us at the Gingerbets Golf Betting Insights YouTube channel. Be part of this family. Let's hope we can grow the channel to 500 subscribers soon, and let's hope we can get winner number 10. Thanks for listening. Good luck with all your wagers this week, and I'll be back for the Hero Challenge in a few weeks' time. I'm going to start bringing you a bit of extra content in the new year. So guys, if you've got stuff that you'd like, then please do feed it back. One of the things that I've had emailed to me that people would like is they've noticed that I beat the market quite regularly with my outsiders. How do I do that? I'm going to do a short video. Tell me if you'd like a bit of that market analysis, how to identify outsiders, but also how do I go about my research. If you'd like any other stuff, let me know in the comments box below, please. I'd be delighted to bring it to you. And if you don't tell me, I don't know what you want, and therefore we won't get it on the channel. That's enough for me. Don't forget to subscribe. Good luck with your wagers. Back a winner. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.